welcome to the 13 Days of Mardi Gras. Rodeo Bo here, and I got a great one for you today, a great one. Absolutely awesome, because you know me, I'm going to talk about three things that your business should be selling if you are in this business or want to get in this business. And you know that is TMT, t-shirts, mugs, tumblers. That's right. And we are going to take care of the t-shirt aspect today. Go ahead and make sure you check out Conti.com while you're here. Go ahead, give your sales rep a call, 1-800-826-6332. Check out all the deals, steals, and bargains we got going on there on Conti.com. We got a great clearance section with a lot of great products in there. Go ahead and make sure you check out that vaporware in there, because that's who we're going to be talking with today. And I'll tell you what, TMT, it's dynamite. T-shirts, mugs, tumblers. We're getting into the t-shirts. But there's also another product that I absolutely love. It's my second favorite product next to the jar opener. I love the jar opener. I have a hard time with those pickle jars. But Gators here are a great product all year round. Great for fishing, great for hunting, great for traveling, great for everything. There's a million uses for a gator. And we have the man on here to talk to you about everything vapor apparel. Jackson, how are you doing today? Welcome.
What's up, Bo? How are you?
I'm doing wonderful here.
Good.
Mardi Gras, we got you on Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday.
Love it. Wish I was down your way, but up here in Charleston, South Carolina.
Awesome.
So I tell you, I learned something new about gators from Bo just before this. If you actually pull the gator up over your eyes, it can double as a kind of eye mask, so you can take a nap. So learn something every day.
My other weird trick with a gator is when you're on an airplane, you can fold it over like I did, and you can stretch it along the tray, and then you got your own personal pouch in front of you. Your headphones and your phone and all that stuff.
I mean, learn something every day. It's good stuff. Well, just to reiterate, I'm Jackson with Vapor Apparel. President of Vapor Apparel. We've been in the business for about 20 years, focused on technical performance apparel for sublimation. About 13 years ago, we got into the sun protection space. So we got into doing gaiters, shirts for fishing and boating and outdoor, which has kind of led us into doing just outdoor gear in general, which has kind of been a thing that we've gotten into over the last 4 or 5 years. But first thing I want to do before I get into product is I want to show you guys how to press, because pressing shirts is a little bit different than pressing hard substrates. And there's a lot of people that waste a lot of money doing it the wrong way. They go to a trade show, learn some bad tips, bad tricks. So let me just spend a little bit of time on that. Then I want to get into our product offering, some of the new stuff that will be coming out with this fall, and just kind of take it from there. So first off, got a standard heat press here. Most people want to press shirts at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. That is way too hot for a soft substrate or a garment. You will scorch the garment. So we recommend somewhere between 375 and 385, depending on the fabric. And we've got recommendations from our solar fabric to our newly renamed Spun Soft tee, previously our basic performance tee, to our sweatshirts, hoods, and that type of thing. So back off the heat. That's number one. The second thing is the pressure. And I did not calibrate this press before I got here. And there's really too much pressure on this. So what you really want is just to have this thing just really kissing the platen. Very little pressure, if anything. It just lays on top, because what you don't want to do is create a, if you get too hot or too high pressure, the fiber begins to polymerize, i.e. get shiny, and that's where you get big shiny square, and you can't sell that. So once your press is calibrated, we do recommend that you test the heat on your press every day before you press, because the press can get out of calibration fairly easily. So it's important to calibrate your equipment. Just like any production, any type of equipment you're using, you want to make sure that's operating at its intended, just how it's intended. So we sell foam kits. So in each foam kit, we've got 13.2 square feet of foam. And this is foam that we developed probably 15 years ago. It's nice and spongy. You can probably get a couple hundred presses out of it. So we cut it to the size. I'll be doing full prints. So we cut it to the size of our paper. And then this has not been set up properly. We trim the edges so that it bevels the edges, but I'm gonna try to make up with it with the softness of of the pressure. But optimally, you actually cut and have a beveled edge, and it just gives less of a pinch point where the shirt, the platen, and the paper hit. Then we recommend putting Teflon paper or Teflon sheet on top of the foam. So basically what we've got here is you've got your platen, you've got our foam, you've got some Teflon, and that just basically creates a little bit of a cushion for your press. So I'm going to take start with a men's long sleeve solar, and we'll line this up. We'll do a footprint. So you line it up. As you can see, how we do it, the paper is bigger than the foam, because the idea is that the paper lays over the side of the foam so that there is no point where that paper can get pinched by the press and cause a press line. So as I line this up, our typical is about 3 fingers. Everybody's a little different, but that's kind of our standard. And then I'm going to lower this down. Dwell time, it varies by press. We typically do about 28 seconds. I did a presentation for Condi last year. Can't remember what it was. I guess a Sublimation Summit. And the average time, I polled everybody in the room, they were pressing anywhere from 45 seconds to a minute. So think about how much time that saves if you're pressing 100 shirts, if you cut your dwell time in half. So time is money. The faster you press shirts, the faster you can go off doing something else like selling or marketing the product. So here we are. And we choose tacky paper because it keeps the paper from sliding. And the first thing I do when I get it off the press is just kind of stretch it out. And here we've got a perfectly pressed garment. No press lines, no sheen. And this is a customer of ours in Hawaii. So I think that's good. Bo, do you think I need to go over any more pressing instructions or any questions out there?
No, I think the pressing instructions you did really well on that. My question to you is, how often in public do you see a shirt of yours or a shirt similar to it that has press lines and you're like, wow, somebody bought that?
I notice it all the time, and usually I see it with competitor blanks, and I can tell because our garments, it's crazy after doing this for 20 years, our garments have a double needle on the top. Not all garments do. They're made a little bit more cheaply. So it's real easy to pick out. It's even crazy going to some of these fishing trade shows and just looking around at some of the stuff that people let out of their shop that professional fishermen are wearing. All of our garments on the sun protection side, they're 50 plus UPF. We have a cooling technology, so as the shirt gets wet with perspiration or water, the fabric cools to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's got anti-wicking and anti-odor properties. So basically, as a shirt, as you perspire in the shirt, it doesn't. A lot of people complain about the stink of a polyester shirt. but our shirts have an antimicrobial finish to it. So,
what is the SPF of your shirts ranging from?
so the white tests out to about 75 UPF. The colors, we add a titanium dioxide finish, which actually bumps it up to about 125. What we've noticed is that after washings, the UPF actually improves because as the fabric gets wet and dried, it tightens up. So we actually saw an improvement after 25 washes in our UPF. So it is permanent UPF. It'll never fade, wash out. So that is a feature that we talk about.
Awesome. And I learned that you bevel the edges of the vapor foam. That's something I just learned.
Yep.
So thank you for that. And I felt like when I first started with sublimation, you needed pressure for everything. And I used pressure to make up for my lack of confidence in a way.
Yep.
And doing shirts and getting light pressure really helped me with that. And I feel like all of my presses went lighter and got better.
Well, like if you let me, I can walk this up to the camera a little bit closer. Hold on, something happened with my video. As you guys can see, I mean that's a nice, vibrant print, and that was just very little to no pressure whatsoever. Main thing, you just want it just enough pressure so that you don't get any gassing or anything on the ink on the shirt. So that's how to press. And let me go through product. So let's see, 20 years ago, we came out with this garment. We called it the basic tee because 20 years ago we were trying to emulate cotton, which I think we've done a very good job of doing. We then realized that we're in the performance apparel business, so we called it the basic performance tee. And this past year, we have rebranded it to the Spun Soft technical tee because it is an actual technical tee. So with all the DTF technology coming out and people printing on cotton, this is far superior to a cotton shirt. It's got the 70, does have 15 UPF, which doesn't have as much as our solar, but it does have the cooling technology, the wicking technology, and the no odor technology. So it's a very good garment in general. So again, we've remarketed it and really just trying to highlight the function of this piece. This garment you can probably press at 390 because it's a little bit more durable, which means you can get your dwell time down probably at about 23 seconds on this. So the more you get the heat up, the lower, the shorter time you have to have it cooking. So we've got this in several core colors, and one of our best colors is an ash heather, and this is our ash heather long sleeve. This has been a product of ours for probably 15 years, and it continues to sell strong. Switching gears to our solar, that's probably been our most popular garment over the last 10 or 15 years. We've got the men's solar, the women's solar. What's been very popular, we've got hoods. Let's see, that's a women's hood. That's a men's hood. But the hoodie is very popular. That's trending from a style standpoint. A lot of the people that are out fishing, especially younger demographic, they are moving into the hoodie option. We have been selling a recycled shirt that's made of recycled water bottles. We just kind of redone how we source that garment. And so you'll notice that our pricing has come down. And that's another thing I like to put out there. During COVID and supply chain and all this stuff that everybody felt from not being able to get product, prices going all over the place, we have been able to renegotiate our pricing down at the mill, and we passed a price decrease going into 2024. So that should bring our product into a much more affordable realm for you guys to make money. Another thing that kind of helps market, well, actually, let me stick on the product side, now I'll get into the marketing. We do have some closeout and clearance items. We've got, and this goes more into like the DTF. If you guys are using direct to film, we've got some darker colors. This is our thermal hoodie. We're diversifying more into fall product. So this is our quarter zip that we came out with a couple years ago. This has done extremely well. We're probably going to be coming out with a hoodie this fall. So that's just something that kind of helps you guys. Typically our season is spring, summer. We're trying to extend that into early spring and fall. So this is a nice piece to get you there. It's 90% poly, 10% spandex. And then we also have our 200-mile tee, which is what I'm wearing. It is made in USA, made of recycled water bottles. It is not an inexpensive piece, but it's a very nice t-shirt for a high-end shirt. This is a sublimated. This is sublimated on here, and it's 50% recycled water bottles, 37% modal, and 13% cotton. So just to show that you can sublimate on what is essentially a 50-50, and it gives you kind of a vintage look and a vintage print. We are coming back out with our ash hoodie. We had a supply chain issue there, so we're changing the color on that. That product will start being available again by April, and I know it's the wrong season, but there are a lot of people in the Midwest and colder climates that wear hoodies year-round. So know that that's going to be coming out mid-spring, and obviously we'll stock up for fall. We'll be in a good position with that. Other than that, trends that we're seeing, youth, toddler are really big. Parents are wanting to, instead of putting sunscreen on their kids, they want to just throw a shirt on them, a sun shirt, a hood. So you can see we've got youth hoodies. We're coming out with toddler hoodies, which should be hitting in April. And then we also have sun wraps. So this was a white sun wrap that with all over print. You can put a nice design on it. Then we also have solid color wraps. So really anything and everything that is for sun protection, including the gaiters. The gaiters during COVID was a necessity from a need to, or people wore it as a face covering. Now we're starting to see the fishing market pick back up in them and just general use. So that is our product offering. Bo, have I left? Oh, one new color update. This is our sandbar. This is a brand new color we came out with last fall. As you can see, it's kind of similar to our pearl gray, which is a light gray, but this is a light cream. So it has very good opacity. It's a nice, rich color, and we have not been able to keep this in stock. We brought it out in September, and we've been chasing it ever since. So we're going to bring this out in a hood, a women's long sleeve, and a youth. Those should be available in April. So note new color sandbar, and we think it's going to be one of our core colors going forward. Bo, I think that's our product assortment. Anything you can think off the top of your head that I've left out?
No, just maybe hats is the only thing if you want to talk about the hats.
Yeah, we do have hats on our direct consumer site, vaporapparel.com. We really don't have anything that is for sublimation or a blank. But we do have the kind of boonie hat and branded trucker hats, and stuff like that. So let's talk a little bit about merchandising and how to sell vapor and make money at it. I think the first thing to do, we have spent a lot of time and money and effort over the last 4 years. We actually started in 2019 rebranding Vapor as a brand. So we've been selling on Amazon for probably 12, 13 years. So we've been selling that product at $25, $27. I think we're at $27.99 on Amazon right now. On vaporapparel.com, we're at $28 for a blank solar decorated. We're at $35. Hoods, I believe, are $33 and $38 for blank and decorated. So, and we get sales every day at those prices. So what does that mean to you? So when you're out there talking to a customer and you're negotiating a price, feel free to reference our direct consumer site and say, I am selling you a garment that retails at $30 plus or minus. So when you're buying our solar and printing it, and depending on what you print on it, you got $15 in it, you should be able to get $25 for a decorated customized shirt from an end user. And for those of you that are selling to different channels, obviously you got to get sharper depending on who your customer is. But there is room to make money. And again, that's why we have really gone to help support our wholesale business by investing in the branded side of Vapor Apparel. And that site is vaporapparel.com. And you'll see a lot of other stuff that we don't sell for embellishment, but that just kind of helps build the brand equity for you guys to go out and promote to help you get higher pricing, and that's the name of the game. That's pretty much what I've got for today. Bo, you got any questions or anything else you'd like me to dig into?
No, that's really good. Going around town, I see the guys on the fishing pier wearing. We do a company here. We Saltwater Mafia. We produce those in-house gear for them, and I see a lot of those around town. The guys on the fishing piers. I see a lot of guys out cutting grass in Vapor Apparel because it breathes really well, and the solar. So it's UPF, not SPF.
Yeah. Okay. SPF is sunscreen. UPF is the fabric rating, and yeah. So let me different markets we sell to. We sell to obviously fishing, hunting, boating, resort destination, all over the Caribbean, out to Hawaii. We have a partner in the Netherlands, and they have rebranded it to Skin Shield, because apparently Vapor is not a very appealing name in Europe. I think because of vaping, of the whole vaping thing. But it's sailing, it's outdoor, it's hiking. It's pickleball. There are dozens of vertical markets that you guys can market our product to. And that's one thing that since the supply chain's been kind of tough over the last couple of years, we haven't added a whole lot of new product. One thing we've seen with the addition of DTF and alternate decorating techniques and technologies, we see that where our spot on the bus is yes, we need to have a great sublimation friendly shirt, but our core is comfort. Vapor Apparel is about making a comfortable garment that can be worn in any climate. These work, even this lightweight 200-mile tee. It's in Charleston. We were mid-30s last week, and I had this with a quarter zip and a vest, and works great as a base layer. But not necessarily coming out with sublimation garments. We want to come out with technical, comfortable garments. They have to be embellishment ready when we sell them to the blanks. into the blanks world or the decoration world. And so that encompasses not just sublimation, but direct to film and screen print. If there are any screen printers out there, one reason why people love our solar versus some of the competition is that they don't have to adjust the dryer temperature from cotton to run poly. With our competition out there, if you're a screen printer and you switch from a cotton to a poly, you've got to actually lower the temperature of the dryer, otherwise the shirt will shrink. So expect to see some more offerings that we'll have coming out this late summer for fall, and some new products coming out next spring. One we're working on is a heathered product that is not for sublimation. It would be for direct to film because it's going to be a little bit darker and it's heat sensitive, meaning if you put 385 on it, it'll bleach out. But if you put 330 on it on a DTF, it works great. So that's one. And then one other thing we're looking to do is come out with some water camo blanks. We're still developing, deciding which blanks to bring out and what design and what colors. But that's something that we will be probably testing the waters with this fall and hitting the market with in spring 2025. So now that we're hopefully on the backside of all this COVID stuff, supply chain issue, we can get into a normal cadence of product development and releases and give you guys a more diversified offering.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jackson. My question was going to be on the screen printing, because that's a humongous world in the garment industry, and an industry that I always recommend, and it may not be the sexiest industry, but construction workers and guys out there working in the field, all of that, sun protection, comfortable wear, something that's going to moisture, sweat wick and all that is something that's very important to them. And I'll tell you from a standpoint.
You talk about construction, roofing, and solar panel installation, because there's a lot of businesses getting into the solar panel installation.
That's right. And a lot of these businesses don't know where to find people to get their shirts and all of that with their personalized logo on it. So getting out there for that. Yep. Someone's saying ash heather is their favorite. And that is my go-to when people are like, you have to be on a a white garment. And I'm like, no, you can put this on ash heather and it looks great. I have a red shirt over here. It looks great on it.
I'm an Atlanta Braves fan, and I have a shirt that is probably 15 years old that I put an Atlanta Braves logo on, and I wear it to this day. Yeah. And that's another thing that durability of a garment is super important. And even is seen in some circles as being very sustainable, because that is one thing that we try to do is keep apparel out of landfills. So if you got a garment you've been wearing for 15 years, it's doing what it was designed, what we designed it to do, which is stay on your back longer.
Awesome. We certainly do love vapor here at Condi. Go ahead, give our rep a call, 1-800-826-6332. Our reps are standing by waiting for your calls. We got lots of great things going on with our 13 days of Mardi Gras going. Jackson, this was my absolute pleasure having you on here. Do you have any words of wisdom, any closing thoughts for everybody before we go?
No, just waiting for longer days and warmer weather. That's our season. So not far. Usually Mardi Gras is the start of it, and we have something local in Charleston called the Southeastern Wildlife Expo, which is this weekend, and that's usually the kickoff to tourists in spring season. So we're ready to roll.
Well, I know that football season's over because we had the Super Bowl. Baseball is coming back on Friday, which I do have a request for you from the paper line and baseball.
Sorry, you were breaking up a little bit, Bo.
Football's over and baseball's coming back on Friday, and I do have a request for you on Vapor. It is baseball tees. Do you guys ever think about that?
So yes. Years ago, so when you're talking about a baseball sleeve, kind of a 3/4
Yes.
with white and colored sleeves.
Yeah.
That is that's a lot of SKUs. Because if you're gonna do one, you got to do black, royal, red, green. So if you think about how much money that costs us to bring out that product, that's a lot of money and a lot of inventory. So we looked at it. We decided that we didn't have enough people clamoring for it. Something we could certainly do if we had the right customer, or if that's something that would we have to have that one customer or a handful of customers that want us to take that to market.
I guess I never thought of that. And then you would also have to do it in ash gray and all of those colors.
Home and away.
I never thought of that. That's an interesting point with products and bringing new products on that. I hope everyone at home can think about that when they're bringing new products onto their own business. And thank you for that insight.
Think about that. So if you had 6 colors times a home and away, white and ash heather, that's 12 colors times let's call 5 SKUs. We just added 60, 70 new SKUs.
Plus the sizes.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Small through 2X, and then the bigger guys will say, "Well, I need a 3X," and then the smaller people say, "Where's my XL, extra small?" And next thing you know, we got a whole bunch of inventory.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jackson. This has been great. Thank you for coming on. I can't wait to have you on here again. It's always a pleasure. So I'm going to call this one if that's okay with you, Jackson.
Good to go. Always love being here and supporting it. And hope everybody has a great Mardi Gras. And here's to spring.
Here's to spring. See you guys later.
All right. Take care.